bringing our wishes to what will be. Today on Fortitude through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. And in full disclosure, this path has taken me in a lot of different directions. And today I'm reading the quote by Epictetus. And again, it's about acceptance. And this is heavily based on God and God's will. So I'm going to pump the brakes on that particular quote. Went down a path today. Miyamoto Musashi, who is famed at being the greatest samurai swordsman ever. And he wrote his 21 principles of Dokudo. And the first principle, accept everything just the way it is. So then I move on with today's lesson in the Daily Stoic, and Ryan Holiday is using a letter from General Dwight D. Eisenhower that he wrote his wife on the eve of the invasion of Normandy. And he told her, quote, "Everything we could think of has been done. The troops are fit. Everybody is doing his best. The answer is in the lap of the gods," unquote. So he had done everything he could. And think about this. He was the commander of the most powerful invasion ever assembled in the history of mankind. And he realized that success or failure, it was bigger than him. It was bigger than him, and he knew that. There's a wonderful lesson here. It really is. And I'm stuck on this because somebody that level would require that much control over his circumstances and situation realize that we have prepared. We have done what we can, and the outcome will be what it will be. And so I think about that in the context of my life, and I think about that in sports and yes, in combat. You can prepare, you can train to perfection, because remember, winners practice until they get it right, but true professionals, true warriors practice until they can't get it wrong. And there have been times in my life when I've done everything I could, still came up short. That's fate. Have to accept that. Don't have to like it, but have to accept it. And so this is how it goes with all my ventures now, because if we want something so bad and we don't get it, what builds resentment and an unsettled life. And that's what I'm learning, with going down this path with Miyamoto Musashi and his Dokudo, 21 Principles of Dokudo, self-discipline. A lot of correlations to Stoicism. And again, I'm someone that notices patterns, right? So these are completely separated worlds, completely separated and isolated worlds, but yet the same principles endure. That tells me something. That speaks volumes to the principles, but also to the men that have embraced them and the result of them. And someone like Miyamoto Musashi, who spent the majority of his life as a Ronin, spent a lot of time alone, a lot of time in thought. And someone commits a life to that much thought and delivered it with such excellence, you have to take note. You have to pay attention to that. That's what excellence looks like. So for me, there's been a wonderful lesson here. I've been reading this Stoic journey, and one of the biggest things is acceptance, right? It's not happiness. It's really, that's never the goal. And again, I've been watching other lectures and I disagree with some of their interpretations of Stoicism because eudaimonia, right? Again, it's loosely translated and there's a lot of perception of what that looks like. Some say it's like the ultimate euphoria. Some say it's extreme happiness. But again, that's perception. Others can say it's complete peace through acceptance. And for me, that's my path. Happiness is an illusion. It's nearly impossible to be consistent. For me, talking about my perspective. However, I can live a life of acceptance. Indifference, according to Miyamoto. Indifference. That's a level of peace. That's the goal, and that's the journey, and that's the challenge, right? So I'm wrapping up my 2024. I'm going deep dive into really what I'm doing next year, and I'm already off social media, as you guys are aware, and I don't even have passwords saying my logins or nothing like that. And what I'm going to do now that I've kind of wrapped up this year is I think I'm going to do the Jordan Peterson Academy, do a different type of learning. And again, I'm a lifetime learner, and there's a lot of subjects there that interest me, and Jordan Peterson is an intellectual, deep. His books are a challenging read. There's a lot of value there. There's a lot of controversy that surrounds him. He's oftentimes characterized as a conservative, but he identifies as a liberal. It's interesting. But he also believes in gender and masculine and feminine roles. So very interesting. Going to do a deep dive and going to join the Jordan Peterson Academy in 2025. And continue this journey. Going to continue the philosophy journey, but really become a student of the world. That's my next goal, is really just an understanding. And so I don't know if you call it the Socratic method, but I know that I know nothing. I know that I know nothing. And what I do know, I'm going to challenge. And through this, I'm going to find my peace, because within peace is the truth. It's a singular thing. It is what it is. It is a beacon. And so for me, virtue, truth, integrity, honor, that's my path, because that's what gives me peace. Anytime you're even in a professional setting, like this week I struggled. I was being pushed to do something that I didn't feel was the right thing to do. And so I dug in my heels. And that's what it is. So I will not be moved to sacrifice my character. I said, you can have my position. I'll get on a plane right now and go home. I will not do that thing that you're asking me to do. Someone else may have void of character and ethics, but it will not be me. So, in the end, my honor held. And under incredible pressure, threats, you can't threaten me. Doesn't matter. Because I will not sacrifice my honor, my integrity, my character. Never again. Did that once in my life for the wrong person. I paid the results. It will never, ever happen again. I'll always be true to myself, always be true to my word, and I will always walk the path. May not be the path that Miyamoto Musashi walked, but I can certainly learn from it. And I can certainly learn from Dwight D. Eisenhower, and I can certainly learn from some of the other amazing men throughout history. That is my path, and that is my peace. And on that, shower time.